Hey, so before we get into this video, I just want to let you all know I'm still working on the Dragonbane homebrew guide and another follow-up video on Zweihander, but Amanda and I did get sick and we are still recovering from all that. But I wanted to get this VOD clip out there because I thought there was a really cool discussion that Ked, Gavin, and I all had on this live stream. Also because one of the other videos that I am still working on did get sponsored, and I know that sponsor is, they've been very cool, but they're cutting it a little bit tight on their Kickstarter, and I wanted to throw them a little bit of a shout out here. And there's going to be another one in that other video. So while they didn't sponsor this one, they did sponsor an upcoming one, and deadlines, and me being sick and all that. Anyways, I do want to throw them a shout out here. Thank you so much to Pickpocket Press for sponsoring the upcoming video. This is a really weird one. I know, I'm sorry. But their Tales of Argosa Kickstarter is live right now. There's only a couple days left on it, and they've already funded. Sitting somewhere between Forbidden Lands, D&D Basic, and Black Hack, Tales of Argosa is a D20-based roll-under system for low magic heroes, akin to Conan the Barbarian, John Carter, with a slight twinge of Mad Max thrown in there. If you want to go check this one out before you actually commit to it, they do have a 249-page quick start preview that you can go check out over on Drive-Thru RPG. I know that this one is a little bit unofficial here and everything, but a huge thank you to Pickpocket Press for sponsoring that upcoming video. I did want to get this one out while their Kickstarter is still going up. So this 5-room dungeon structure is telling us kind of quickly what are we going to need to know in order to like make a delve, our dungeon, right? The entry should have some sort of challenge barring entry. Our mystery flesh fit could be there's maybe bizarre little mutated body part creatures or golems or something on the outside, right? Could be just delving into this thing. Maybe it's a literal like mouth of a cave that you have to get past closed teeth. Something weird like that, right? This could be a guard, environment challenge, yada, yada, yada. 2, interaction, a puzzle or roleplay challenge which can't conventionally be solved by brute force. You never want to gate them out of, like, moving forward if they don't solve this, but this could be a thing that just makes life easier or grants a reward for dealing with this, right? There was a really funny one in Wally's Beck Me game that we did where I think it was a puzzle he made. There was a king and a queen statue, a picture of a battering ram that had destroyed a castle wall, and there was a telescope in another room, and I'm trying to remember, the king and the queen were like the king and the queen of war. The battering ram, whatever we were doing, it was like the battering ram was meant to destroy Ares, right? So like the god of war. So it was like, okay, so what does this mean? And by using the telescope and like aligning it at the constellation of Ares, it put the sign of Ares up on this wall down this slope. And it was like, oh, okay, sick. Like, all right, so now that we've done that, we can just drop the battering ram down this slope and it'll break through the wall, right? Yeah, it's an OSR style puzzle, yeah. And so that's what we did. And that was like a really fun interactive puzzle, right? And that was at about like, we say room 2 on here. These don't necessarily have to be a beat for beat for beat. This is a interactive element of it that happened roughly about midway through. You was lost. Hey, Ked, what's going on, man? I can see your icon. I can't hear your beautiful voice.
I haven't said
anything. Oh, Jesus Christ. How's it going, man?
It's going. I'm having a Pillsbury toaster strudel for the first time since I was a kid.
Ooh. You mean the Superior Pop-Tart?
Yeah, I haven't had one of these since I was like, I don't even know. It's been decades.
Have you looked at the nutritional information?
No, because I'm fat and sad.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, that's if anything will make you regret eating one of those things, it's looking at the back of the box.
Oh, yeah. No, there's probably 3 days worth of calories.
Yeah. You mean rooms and 5 rooms is not literally referring to room? Yes. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, this is kind of an abstract concept for like kind of the story beat of a dungeon delve. God, I mean, how long has this been around, Ked? 90s?
The 5-room dungeon structure?
Yeah.
Oh, I used to have a poster of it in the wall. I don't know, a while.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, this is just kind of a tried and true like abstraction of what we know works for a dungeon, and yeah. The trick or setback. These are typically where you can throw in traps if that's what you want to do. These can be a subversion of expectations. Something. I have a really funny one actually for a dungeon I want to make super bad. And this is literally like, I don't know that I want to spoil anything, but sure. It's literally the trick or setback is there is an invisible dude that is just running around the dungeon stalking the players, and he's not doing anything to like necessarily hurt them. And I thought that was so funny.
Oh,
and, like,
there's a second edition adventure where there was like a crazy ass wizard that it was like a dimension thing. I remember there was something very similar to that.
I see this as more like, okay, the Hero's Grave in Elden Ring has a really good trick or setback. Hero's Grave, Elden Ring. Is it this one? Gelmir Hero's Grave? Yeah, of course this is the most replayed segment of this. So, this is the very entry. Alright, we'll playback speed 2 times. This should only be like a 3-minute thing. Okay. Oh, no, go back. Okay, so there's these lava paths at the first beginning of the entryway. There's also a bunch of these guardians, right? These are skeletons, and you're about to see the other guardian. Oh, do I need to give you a second? You okay, YouTube? We doing all right? So you need to get through here, because that's the other guardian.
Sorry, I showed up. I cursed everything.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Okay, so there's another guardian. It's the chariot that comes down through here. This is like the first big difficulty for this dungeon, right? So here we have the quote-unquote guardian. You gotta wait through this, right? And it's also a little bit of a puzzle, which is fun. Just low-level minions, yada yada. Okay, so now we have... Oh wait, is that not up by default? I thought that was up by default in the dungeon. Maybe this guy's already gone through here.
Do you know about the weird interaction with Margit's shackle?
You mean where you can use it and all the omens like stop moving?
No, in dungeons like that, where there's like those pillars and switches that you have to hit in order to interact with them, the Margit's shackle, because of the way it works where it shackles the omen characters, it has a giant hitbox that actually interacts with those things.
Oh,
so in dungeons
weird.
like that, you can go,
Cool.
like, you know the dungeon with 4 of those chariots and you have to get them to crash together?
Yeah.
You can literally cheese the whole dungeon by just walking to a certain point just under the staircase, use the shackle, and then it triggers the thing behind the wall that you can't reach, and then all of them just break and die.
So what all's happening right here is we have a bunch of puzzle / roleplay and an action RPG like Elden Ring. A lot of these puzzles and interactions are mostly going to come down to opening up different paths, making it easier to go through. And I mean, like, it's as simple as there's a hallway that's through here. I have to time this right to go through. Yeah. Not exactly really working out super well in a TTRPG, but different format.
Okay. Yeah, I always say be wary of things like word puzzles and stuff, because there's a lot of players that no bueno. It's not going to work.
So this is... God, that's the funny... Whenever I figured out that the chariot would kill those skeletons, it was like, oh my god.
Do you remember day 1 when the chariots would one-shot you because how much damage they
dealt?
Yeah!
Oh yeah!
They nerfed the damage on those things massively.
This fucking area... Okay. I did not know about this. And see, I'm glad it's the most replayed. Yeah, this is the trick or setback for this dungeon. Because if you get to this point in the dungeon and you don't know about this, like what you're supposed to do here, you get hopelessly stuck. Like, you will go through here, God knows how many times, just trying to brute force and figure out what the fuck you're supposed to do. This is a perfect trick or setback right here.
Yeah.
So, you kill these guys. Okay, so you would go down here. There's this shadow that's yeah. Now, at this point, it feels like you're fairly low on options, because what most people are gonna do is they're like, okay, I need to go down here, right? Except whenever you go down this way, here we go. Oh, it's just, oh, well, shit, this guy's not going to show it. There's a massive lava pool down there, and you can't do anything to progress. So it's like, well, what the fuck, right? So this, if you start looking around and really paying attention, or maybe you caught one of these in a previous dungeon, you'll know that sometimes on these paths, there's these little ledges that overhang. And so you can go through here, and this reveals, oh, a whole other room.
I feel like if you have played From Software games before this, it was a little more obvious to look for bullshittery like this.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of new people that had played Elden Ring that had never played like the Dark Souls series or anything like that. They're like, what is this bullshit?
But see, even having played like the entire Dark Souls series and Bloodborne, I wasn't ready for this part coming up right here. So the only way for you to progress over the lava is you have to get up here. So there's the lava right down there, and you have to wait. And what happens is this chariot comes over, and you have to fall on top of the chariot and ride it down through the lava. I have never seen a Dark Souls or like whatever. I've never seen a Soulsborne ever do something quite like this. That puzzle was like, holy shit.
When I did that dungeon, it was literally, I realized you were supposed to ride it because unlike every other chariot in the game, that one didn't have a statue sitting on top of it.
Oh,
so
I didn't even see that, yeah.
So I was like, oh, I have to ride it, but like, wait, what the fuck? How do I get up there?
Yeah, I didn't even see that. Like, whenever I was playing through it, I just looked at this lava pit and I was like, the fuck? What happens here? You can make it through the lava with dagger dash. Yeah, but come on now, like...
Yeah, why would you do that? Ride the
Come on, the fun is solving the puzzle, right? So, the climax, this will be the confrontation portion of the quest, right? So here we're going to have our climax. And our climax, in this case, is going to be... Yada-da-da. We go into this room over here. And we're going to wind up fighting a boss. Unless this guy already killed it. Yeah, he's just showing you a way through it, right? So there would normally be a boss in here. Resolution, you get the magic item or whatever, and then you exit the dungeon. This is 5-room dungeon structure perfectly right here, right? Love Elden Ring's dungeon design. It's so fucking good.